Adam here with Brooksaw Antiques. Today we have this 1956 Olivetti Lettera 22 vintage ultra portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Made in Italy and one of the best typewriters of all time. This is basically the start of one of the most successful typewriter companies of all time. This won an award for the best technology of the last 100 years from the Institute of Technology in Chicago. And then the progression of this turned into the Olivetti Lettera 32, which is probably one of the best selling typewriters of all time. And that also spun off into a bunch of different brands of Olivetti that had the same internal mechanics as the 32, but had different shell or different branding on it, but the same mechanics. Up top is the left margin. I'm going to set that on 0 and the right one around 75. And this is before they merged with the Underwood. So these are actually super rare with the round keys. When they merged with Underwood, they changed the badge back here to Olivetti Underwood, and the keys went to like a dark gray square color. So very nostalgic feel to it and classic feel. So we're going to set that left one on 0 and the right one around 75. And these are your paper support arms that flip up from the back. This is the paper bale that sits on top. It's got 2 adjustable rollers and a scale. Once you hear the bell, you're near the end of the margin. Hit the slide space, gets back to the beginning, and skips 1, 2, or 3. Right now we have it on single, which skips 2 half spaces. When you have it on 2, it skips 3 half spaces. When you have it on 3, it skips 4 half spaces. We're going to keep that on single for now and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line. I switch from black to red. There's a switch on the right side. Flip that down to the red indicator. It prints the bottom portion of the ribbon, which is red. When you have it on the middle on the white indicator, it prints no ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. When you have it up top on the blue indicator, it prints the top portion of the ribbon, which is black. We're going to move that down for red. Beautiful. Super reliable, cushiony touch to it. Print looks really nice. Pica typeface, prints 10 characters per inch. Beautiful print. To pull the page out easy, there's a switch on the right side. You flip that towards you, it unlocks the rollers underneath the pot, allowing you to pull the page out easier, load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page or else it won't load correctly. I'm going to flip these down for now and put the color back on black. Just shift on each side and shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. This blank button here is not supposed to be the 1 key. That is the margin release. When you get to the end of the margin, there's a mechanism that blocks you from printing. Hit that margin release. It does allow you to type pass all the way to the end. Also works on the left side to get past that left margin. But we want it all the way on 0, so you don't need to get past that if it's on 0. Backspace on the right side. Everything on this is super light and smooth. It's not as light as the 32, but it's light compared to most other typewriters. This red button is your classic Olivetti tab button. So that right now I have tabs set on 10 space intervals, so I'm just going to go through and clear each one of them by pushing this lever up. And if you have a 32, it's the opposite. It's down to clear. This one's up to clear, down to set. So we're just going to clear each one of these. So now we don't have any tabs set, but I always like to set one somewhere in the middle so that way when you hit the tab button, it doesn't go slamming all the way to the end, causing wear and tear in your typewriter. So we're just going to flip that switch down around the middle, and it stops at that spot. You set as many tabs as you want on this model. All right, let's open the hood from the front. You want to make sure that you're careful with that because it has these 2 hooks that hook in from the back. This is made out of cast iron, so that will break off. But it's very strong and durable, but it could break. Besides, it doesn't bend, it breaks. All the brand new ribbons loaded on the left side, so it's pulling clockwise to the right if you want to switch that direction. Manually, the side that you want it to go to behind the ribbon is a ribbon guide. You just flip it towards the middle on the side that you want it to go to. It'll pull to that side. That's meant to catch the eyelet at the end of the ribbon, so it swaps automatically, so you don't have to do that unless you have a problem. This is your touch control, so this is very important with light touch typewriters. You might get one and say, this is not for me, it's too light, making too many errors, and then you figure this out. This is your touch control that just increases the tension when you hit the keys so you don't so you do have to hit the keys harder for them to print, but they respond faster. So you just want to play with that to gauge your preference as far as touch control goes. When you put this back on, we're going to put it back on from the back first. Hook these 2 in, and then 2 slots, and then snaps down like that. Carriage release on both sides, super smooth. This has a much different carriage rail than the 32. This rides on this, like an old school desktop machine, it rides on this rail here instead of bearings. and it just has a little hook on the front that catches the front. And I do actually appreciate that. It feels unique and smooth, just like it's riding on rails instead of ball bearings. So that's the carriage release on the left. If you move the line space selector all the way back to 0, it disables the spacing so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You push it forward to the 1, you get the clicks. Each one of those clicks is a half a space. In the same concept, if you push the button on the left side and turn it, disables the spacing, you let it go, you get the clicks. You just want to be careful when you do that because you will lose your line if you're keeping track of lines. That's just for getting in between the lines. This is your carriage lock. You flip it up and move the carriage to the middle. You flip it down and move it to the middle, it will lock the carriage. And just, you don't really want to use that if you're shipping these or if you're going through, like airlines or something, because that will bend and then it just won't work. So you only use that when you're light carrying it gently. If you want to ship this or you're traveling, you just want to zip tie that, and then you can keep it in a case or you can shrink wrap it so it doesn't move around. And this swivels back so it's flat in the case. And if you accidentally put it in there and you ship it, or this can break off right here, which is cast aluminum, and it's extremely hard to replace. So you just want to make sure that you protect this handle. You can replace this, but this never breaks. It's always the inside, and you have to get in there, take the platen off, get in there with a really tiny pin and punch it out. So I just learned how to do that, but it's not easy. That's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy or my new website, brooksawantiques.com.